Hello, my name is Gary, and I was raised in the Western United States, so I'm a native English speaker. I hope that you will enjoy this YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us.
Film review: Beauty and the Beast. Once upon a time, in a strange and wondrous land, a selfish young prince is hanging around the castle when an old beggar woman comes by, offering him a rose in exchange for shelter for the night. The mean kid sends her away. Turns out he was rude to the wrong lady. She's really a beautiful enchantress, and punishes the prince by turning him into a monstrous beast. She gives him 10 years to get a girl, to fall in love with him and earn that girl's love in return. As a friendly reminder, she gives him the enchanted rose whose petals will slowly fall off until he's 21. If he doesn't get a girl to fall in love with him before that last petal falls, he will remain a beast for the rest of his life, while his servants will become inanimate objects. Several years later, in the small town of Villeneuve, Belle, the book-loving daughter of a widowed artist named Maurice, dreams of adventure. She constantly brushes off advances from Gaston, an arrogant hunter and war veteran, as he is not the type of man Belle wishes to marry. On his way to the long-distance inventors' fair, Maurice becomes lost in the forest, and often narrowly escaping a pack of wolves, he seeks refuge in the Beast's castle. However, the Beast imprisons him when he steals a rose from the garden as a gift to Belle. When Maurice's horse returns without him, Belle ventures out in search of him. The horse takes her back to the castle, where she finds her father locked in the castle dungeon, and reluctantly agrees to take his place as the Beast's prisoner. The Beast agrees, but Maurice refuses. Belle is granted the chance to be allowed to say goodbye. She hugs Maurice, then surprises him by swapping places and shutting the gate on herself. The Beast drags Maurice away. Belle befriends the castle's servants, including Candelabra, Lamira, Mantle-lock Cogsworth, Feather-duster Plummet, Teapot Mrs. Potts, and her son, Chip, who is now a teacup. They invite her to a spectacular dinner, but she triggers the Beast's temper when she travels into the Forbidden West Wing and finds the enchanted rose that symbolises his curse. He freaks out, and she flees the castle into the middle of a winter storm, running into local wolves, who decide she'll taste delicious. The Beast arrives in the nick of time to save her, though he's wounded in the process. Belle takes him back to the castle and nurses his injuries. As Belle nurses his wounds, a spark develops between them. The Beast shows Belle a gift from the Enchantress, a book that transports readers wherever they want. Belle uses the book to visit her childhood home in Paris, where she discovers a plague doctor's mask and realises that she and her father were forced to leave when her mother died from bubonic plague. The one thing her father could not tell her all those years. In Villeneuve, Maurice fails to convince the other villagers of the Beast, his castle and Belle's imprisonment. Gaston, seeing rescuing Belle as an opportunity to win her hand in marriage, agrees to help Maurice. When Maurice learns of his ulterior motive and rejects him, Gaston knocks him unconscious and abandons him to be eaten by the wolves. Maurice is rescued by the town hermit Agathe, but when he tells the townsfolk of Gaston's crime and is unable to provide solid evidence, Gaston convinces them to send Maurice to an insane asylum. After sharing a romantic dance with the Beast, Belle discovers her father's predicament using a magic mirror. The Beast releases her to save Maurice, giving her the mirror to remember him with. Arriving back to the village, Belle reveals the Beast in the mirror, much to the shock of the townsfolk, proving her father's sanity. Realising that Belle is in love with the Beast, a jealous Gaston claims she has been charmed by dark magic and has her thrown into the asylum carriage with her father. He rallies the villagers to follow him to the castle to slay the Beast before he curses the whole village. Inside the asylum carriage, Belle tells her father that she already knows what happened to her mother and shows him the rose rattle she took from her magical visit to their old abandoned home. The two manage to escape and Belle rushes back to the castle. Luckily, the servants at the castle aren't going down without a fight. While the Beast continues to sulk in his chambers, they set up a stalwart defence against the mob and send them packing. But Gaston slips through the defences and finds the Beast unwilling and unable to defend himself. Gaston attacks the Beast in his tower, the Beast who is too depressed to fight back, but regains his spirit upon seeing Belle return. He overwhelms Gaston, but spares his life at the last second before reuniting with Belle. However, Gaston shoots the Beast from an unstable bridge, which then collapses, sending Gaston falling to his death. The Beast then dies, just as the last petal falls, and the servants become inanimate objects. As Belle tearfully professes her love to the Beast, Agathe reveals herself as the Enchantress and undoes the curse, which repairs the crumbling castle, revives the Beast. And restores him and his servants to their human forms and to the villagers' memories once again. The film ends with Belle and the prince hosting a ball for the kingdom where they dance happily.